Hey traders, Raghee here, and today we're going to talk about how to read candlesticks with zero experience. So let's first talk about what a candlestick is. And you'll see this is a daily chart, and every candle will look a little something like this. Right? There is a high, there is a low, there is an open, and there is a close. Now, if the candle moves up throughout the session, typically the candle will be colored green, or it'll be a hollowed out candle. If a candle closes lower for the session, oftentimes you'll see the candle is darker, maybe black or red. But at the end of the day, we're always looking at where it started the day, where it closed the day, the high and the low of the session. And you can see that throughout these candles on the daily time frame. We can do the same thing with a 1 minute chart, where each open, high, low, close reflects what happened over the duration of just 60 seconds. We can do the same thing on a 1 hour chart, where each candle reflects what happened over the duration of 60 minutes. So the time frame is really important to understand the open, high, low, close. Let's go back to the daily chart, where every single candle reflects the open, high, low, close for 1 day. And this is how we can really supercharge our candlestick analysis. We add in code, and that's where these are custom grab candles. These are candles that I use from the Top Tier Pro toolkit. And what it does is it not only keeps with the close higher and lower. If there was a close higher, it's a lighter shade of green. If it was a close lower, it's a darker shade of green. So that simply means that if we opened, say here, we closed down, and that would be a dark shade. If we opened here and closed higher, that would be a light shade. Now, initially, any close higher than the open could be perceived as bullish, but this is where having an extra understanding of two main questions. Is the chart 1 minute, 1 hour, daily chart, is it bullish? And here's the most important part. Is it likely to keep going? And that is what these color-coded candles do for me. When I take a look at green candles, what that tells me is not only is the momentum and the trend most likely bullish, but the participation is also bullish, that buyers are engaged to the upside, that they haven't disappeared entirely. If I look at the opposite side, right, if I were talking about bullish, what about bearish? When the candles are red, that tells me that sellers are dominating the trend, and the momentum and the participation to the downside suggests that it can keep going. So take a look at this very first red candle, right? Knowing that that starts to show bearish momentum and bearish trend, by the time I get about 5 of these, it's pretty likely that price action, again, its probability, is going to go lower. Well, let's take the other side of it. Once I get the first green candle, I know participation is bullish. Momentum is starting to get bullish. And by the time I get about 5 green candles in a row, I know the trend is starting to organize more bullishly. And again, you can see the follow through at that point. Now, one extra important thing that I add to my candlesticks is I add a neutral candle. Now, this doesn't exist in traditional Japanese candlesticks. The neutral candle shows us that it's neither bullish nor bearish. And we'll see these in transitions from bearish to bullish or from bullish to bearish. So the moment we start getting more yellow candles after a string of red, that's telling us that we're not as bearish as we used to be. It's not bullish yet, but it's starting to get a little bit more neutral. Once I get these yellow candles, now I'm going to look to see, do the reds resume or do greens appear? And then once again, once those green candles appear on any time frame, I know to expect potentially bullish follow through. So remember, our candlesticks should not end and begin with open, high, low, close. They really should answer the question, am I bullish, and can price action keep going in that direction?